Do you know the Dave Darren Show?
Hot enough to boil a monkey's bum.
Most people say, who the fuck is Dave Darren?
Like Disneyland, I'm the happiest fucking guy on earth.
Who the fuck is Dave Darren?
Who the fuck is Dave Darren?
Are you a poofda?
He used to be on terrestrial radio, but he got fired.
It's over. Don't you think it's over?
I'll spin.
Who the fuck is Dave Darren?
Here comes the bull spiller now.
Dave Darren.
And now we're ready to go, guys, okay?
Right on.
Okay, liquid, quick. Let me say, I just went today to the dentist, so my right side of my mouth, I feel like a Stallone, Rocky Balboa. I got this side of the mouth not working right, this side of the mouth working perfectly.
I got lightheaded there. Yeah.
How am I going to have oral sex with my wife tonight? How am I going to do that?
Big time porno. Okay, pervert.
I'm going to have to use the tongue on the left side of my mouth, and the right side is going to be messed up.
Yep.
Yep. You can already tell what kind of an interview I do, right, guys? You can already tell.
Yeah.
So, Liquid Kitchen, right?
Yep. That's
now,
right. Liquid Kitchen.
Now, I'll tell you how I found you guys. I found you guys probably about 4 years ago when I was doing the show. Did you ever hear about... I tried to message you guys, I think, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Huh. I don't know where we were... What were we doing 5 years ago, Brian? Let's see.
Well, four years ago was right about when I moved to Vegas.
Yeah, you and I moved at the same time, pretty much.
Pending a month anyway, yes. It was April of 2019 when I moved from here to Vegas.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I never saw that message, but to be perfectly honest, I'm awful when it comes to Facebook. So if you were trying to reach out to me on Facebook, Gio was the one that actually told me you wrote us, and I was like, okay, wow. And then I had to go dig through Facebook online to try to find the message, and that's when I really responded back to you.
Well, you found me, so I'm going to clap for that. You found me after all. And the other reason I found you guys is because, for instance, I have constipation. When I exit the constipation, it's a very solid brick, and I needed a plumber to unclog my toilet. And Liquid Kitchen came up, and that's how I found you guys. I found you guys two ways. Jamendo is the main reason I found you guys, and the way I found you guys. So you guys have some stuff out there, especially the song Graveyard. That song rocks. I really love that song.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Excellent work on that, guys. Really good stuff. How'd you come up with that?
Well, that song came out of basically out of a need to have more rockin' songs on the record.
Yeah, right.
So the drummer at the time, he's like, "We need more rock. We need more upbeat songs." And I whipped out that first part of the down, 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 and then I just did that.
Yeah.
And then immediately started working on the song. And it was originally called Grooveyard, not Graveyard, because we wanted it to groove, and I'd always come up with names for the songs as a kind of a placeholder, and it's Grooveyard. But as it went on, I hate to be too honest about this song because it's really my least favorite on the record, to be perfect.
Oh,
it was never meant to be. We needed a rock song. And so I wrote it, and then, I'm a huge fan of Jim Morrison and the Doors and stuff like that. So, I did my own take on lyrics, just going deep and dark on the words, and there it was. That was it. Maybe it's because we didn't overthink it.
Yeah. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm Italian, so of course there's parts of my family that are like sort of mafia related. So if I ever have to like dig up a grave with a body in the back of my car and bury him in the graveyard, I'm going to play that song while I'm burying the dead body in the graveyard. Okay? That's what I'm going to do.
That's fine with me. It's fine with me. I just don't want to know anything about it.
fumes. Far below these sinful means, gold has flown through loosened strings. Brightened iron and withered fumes. Far below my sinful means, gold has flown through loosened streams.
Jason, what do you play in the band? Vocals, guitar, bass? Give us your instrumentation.
Yeah, I'm the lead singer and guitar player.
Okay, Brian, how about yourself? Oh,
Brian, I'm the bass player.
Okay, bass player. And by the way, do you remember that show? Was it God, the one? I wish I didn't have a mental block. But you look like the Grim Reaper in one of those movies I saw recently. And he was he was a bass player too. It was the one where they're in a phone booth and they travel through time.
Oh, you know about Bill and Ted's?
Yeah, Bill and Ted's. If you watch the second one of it, when there's a bass player, and he sort of looks like you to a degree. That's a compliment. I thought that.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. I'll have to rewatch it.
You got to rewatch it.
I love show business.
Another song I really like. I'll tell you about it. Oh, by the way, you got a third guy in the band too. Who's he?
Gio De Silva.
Okay, there we go. And he plays
lead guitar.
Okay.
And he also contributes from a songwriting standpoint.
Okay.
You know, as does Brian and I usually send them a mess of tunes and stuff, and then they sort it all out and then turn it into something that sounds good.
Do you guys do this remotely? Like one person's in Vegas, he moved from someplace to Vegas. Brian moved along. How do you compile the music together? Like remotely, adding your part to it? How do you do the music? How do you compose it all together?
We just use the same software. Use Reaper, and he'll have it on his system. He'll record, a bass part, and then it comes back to me, and then I send it over to Gio, and Gio will start working on the guitar part on it. I very rarely use a drummer anymore at this point because I started as a musician. I started as a drummer. So I have drumming background, and so I can usually create the rock drum beats that I want, And then I have a drummer that I work with. He lives in Houston, Texas, Josh Blenman. He'll usually jump in and do the shows with us when we do a show. We haven't done one in a while, but that's basically the process. And
Brian, let me ask you a question about this, because I'm a fan of bass music. Now, I play the guitar. Bass is really cool. I love bass. And, when I think about, 80s music, 70s music with disco and all, remember how predominant bass was in disco music, the popping of the notes and all that? How do you feel about bass these days? Do you feel like we need to get bass lines back where they're the predominant force in the music? What do you think about bass these days in today's music? What do you think?
Well, it depends on the style. Short answer, yes, I'm all for it. The more bass music there is, I'm all for it. But it does depend on the style. If you're talking about rock music, and that's where I started. I grew up as a metalhead, and I didn't know any better. But when I started to explore other types of music, as you mentioned, the disco and 70s R&B, I realized that, wow, there's a whole lot more going on with those styles, than this. And even, of course, even jazz. I'm a big jazz lover as well. So, and that's, walking bass moving everywhere. So it depends on the style. But yeah, short answer, I'm all for more bass music.
I could have used a little more cowbell.
Adding more to it.
You're going to want that cowbell.
Unfortunately, especially in rock music, you run into some guitar players that don't like that.
It doesn't work for me. I gotta have more cowbell.
You're infringing on their territory or whatever. So, because it is, rock music is guitar based. So, it is predominantly, written around the guitar and everything else. And of course, big, heavy drum beats and things like that. So sometimes it is better as a bass player to simplify if there's more stuff going on around you. But if you have the capability, there are bass players that have the capability of, playing along in that, quote unquote, keeping up, with the guitar player, the drummer, or whatever. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm all for more bass centric music, or, more
cowbell,
more addition to it. I also play like synth bass as well and upright bass.
Oh, I was going to ask you that. You're playing upright bass, and you have. Cool. Cool. You ever play a fretless bass? Those seem like they're complicated. The fretless bass.
Yeah, I own one of those. I have a 6-string fretless bass and a 6-string electric bass. So yeah, I use all all the styles, and I'm comfortable in all the styles. So. Yeah, it really depends. Although I haven't, at least with the Liquid Kitchen stuff, I haven't recorded any fretless bass so far. It's just been electric fretted bass. But I have recorded fretless bass for other projects, but not for this one.
Oh, cool!
A lot of the music, when I'm thinking about the music and working on the music and writing it, I like to get the bass line in as fast as I can, because the bass and the drums are like a real big. I don't like overpopulating it with a lot of massive guitars and layering and the more we go down the road of writing music, I like letting the bass really come through, because especially with Brian, because he's so articulate. He does so much great stuff on his bass line. So yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And I got to tell you too, when people are listening to music these days, they're listening with their cell phones, the earbuds in. Me, I've got my Bose 901 set up. I want to hear the bass. I want to hear the music. I want to hear the vibrance of the music. That's what I want. I don't listen with earplugs or earbuds or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to pick another song. I'm going to let you guys pick it, but I will tell you another song I listen to, and I listen to lyrics. Okay, lyrics to me are somewhat important too. So I was listening to Serial Killer. I tell you, I like the lyrics. fingernails slicing through my back. See, I did research on you guys. Razor teeth gnawing at my neck. Now, is this a song or is this a sexual encounter? What is this? I'm thinking about having sex with my wife this way tonight.
That song was
I got you speechless. I got you speechless, right?
It was originally called Crystal Ball, and I did a run of lyrics on it, and the guys were like, no, we need to work a little harder on it. And I agreed. I was like, I don't really know what to do with this song, and it just kept sitting around while we were working on the album. I just kept putting it off, and then there was this woman on MySpace, I believe. Her name was Metal Sanaz. And I was like, wow, she's beautiful and horrific at the same time. I'm like, she looks like a serial killer, is what I thought, and then it just clicked in my head. I was like, oh, serial killer. That's what this song, I'm just going to write the song about her. Yes, I guess you could say a sexual encounter, but the idea being is that she walks in, does her thing to me, makes me fall in love with her, and then vanishes. And I didn't even meet her. I just saw videos of her on MySpace or like somewhere. I don't even remember, somewhere online. I think she lived in LA or something. I don't remember.
Don't worry, I'll stalk her. No problem at all.
Yeah. Feel free, if you get to talk to her, let her know, hey, this guy Jason in the Liquor Kitchen wrote a song about you called Serial Killer.
In a pathologic, psychologic, mythologic way, she glides through the crowd with a mystic sway. She sees me trying to avoid her charm. Without a doubt, I've been disarmed. In the surgical, serial killer way, she carved a scar in the usual way. Fingernails slicing through my back, her razor teeth gnawing at my neck. But I must confess, yes, she stole my heart. Yes, she ripped it clean and she laid it to rest. Now I'm 6 feet deep and there's no escape. Could you throw some dirt and bury me? In an implicate, exaggerated display of grace, she evaporated without trace. I wander halls like the living dead, with haunting memories of what she said. But I must confess, yes, she stole my heart. Yes, she ripped it clean and she laid it to rest. Now I'm 6 feet deep and there's no escape. Could you throw some dirt and bury me?
with the name of the band? We'll let Brian shout out the name of the band this time.
Name of the band is The Liquid Kitchen.
By the way, this part of the program is sponsored by Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it. Can he clean a kitchen sink?
Quicker than a wink.
Can he clean a dirty mirror?
He'll make it bright and clearer. Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
What do you think is the most important part that you give to your fans that they need to come and see you guys?
Man, that's heavy. I spend a lot of time making sure that we have a very solid set. That hour is been worked, rehearsed, and I'm really focused on making sure that the people that are there are getting the best performance that I can give them. And I preach that to all the guys in the band.
Give me a third song to play, because we already played Graveyard, and we played the other one, Serial Killer, which I kind of picked both. What do you guys think you want to hear third? It'd be a good third one.
Mexico?
Okay, Mexico. Oh, yeah, by the way, I was looking at your sets, your stuff on. So we had, of course, we played Graveyard. We have Mexico, Hello, and Soldier. Now, if we played them all together, we could play Hello, Soldier in Mexico. Right. We can do that. We can create a story. It's an album. It's a story.
Yeah, we can do that way.
Hello, Soldier in Mexico.
Yeah.
So we're going to play Mexico next on the Dave Barron Show. Here we go, guys.
She woke up around 4:45, wiping dreams from her pretty eyes. She stares off into outer space and
Brian, you got a lot of stuff behind you. You got like a lot of movie memorabilia behind you. So are you a movie buff? What do you think about movies?
I am, although most of this stuff is my daughter's stuff, but where do you think she got it from? So I mean, yes, my daughter's a big horror movie fan, which she got from me, but I think she's even more in love with it than I am. But yes, I'm a big movie buff. So
yeah. I don't watch. I got to go to more movies, and
I haven't. Yeah, well, we talk about the pandemic. I haven't been to a movie since before the pandemic in an actual theater. So
Yeah, I know. Me too. I guess the movie theaters, of course, were shut down for a while because that's a place of gathering. So they were annihilated by the pandemic. Everything was annihilation.
Yeah.
At one point, they had this. You had to stay 6 feet away from each other. Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
I was actually in Phoenix. I was going to do this, but I thought if I do it and somebody gets sick, I'm going to get a lawsuit. I was going to draw a bunch of circles with 6 feet 1 inch and have everyone stand 6 foot 1 inch away from each other, just as a protest to what was going on with shutting down our country. Then I thought if I do that and somebody gets sick, they're going to sue me for inviting me. So you had to worry about everything else. You had to worry about the insanity of the country at one point too. Just the threat of it was. I'm glad we're going to forget about that now. We're going to rock and roll with a closing song on the Dave Darren Show. What should we do? The very last song. What should we do?
I guess Bleed.
Okay, Bleeding. That's a good one. I just came back from the dentist and I was bleeding a lot, so we'll play that as a closing song on the Dave Darren Show. Okay. Plus, my wife has her period too, so there we go.
My wife doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah. The good thing about that is I'm Italian. It's sort of ketchup to an Italian guy. All right, guys. Thanks for tolerating me on my show. Did you know I was this wild? Did you scope me out a bit to see how wild you were getting involved with?
I did not know what I was getting into, but I'm glad I got into it.
All right. Brian, thanks a lot for being on the show. I appreciate you two being there as a bass player representing a community of musicians that I really respect. I love bass players as well.
Well, thanks for the appreciation. Anybody who actually listens to the bass, I'm a fan of you as well. So thank you.
Cool. Okay, guys, thanks very much for being on the show.